Welcome to an episode of Founder in the Chair. I'm your host, Veena, and today my guest is the definition of resilience and reinvention. She moved to a foreign country as a young bride with no familiar faces and no safety net, just courage and quiet strength. She started her career as a bank cashier and eventually becoming a successful wealth manager, all while raising 2 children. But life had more in store for her. An emotionally and financially challenging divorce could have broken her. But instead, she rose. She challenged the stigma, retrained as a teacher, stepped into leadership in the mortgage world, and now she's stepping into her purpose. So I am super excited to welcome Aman.
Thank you.
Welcome, Aman.
Thank you, Veena. Thank you for having me.
Excited to have you. I mean, coming from India, building yourself, going through everything that you did, you know, hats off to you. I know it's hard, and you know, many brides come from India and they're just here on their own and they've just got to build a life in this new family. And my mum went through that. So that generation, it was quite expected and quite normal, but you did it a lot later.
Yeah, I think what we need to remember is like being in the UK, you're 50 years ahead of where you're back home in India. So in India, arranged marriages, still to the day, yes, India's moved on. We see a very flashy version in the media, but the basic sense and sensibilities are still same. The family units are very strong, the respect for the elders, everything. And I was brought in a very strict household.
Right.
So the whole path from when I was born to what my life purpose going to be was, so as soon as I did my degree, that's it. We're going to find you a boy. And yeah, lo and behold, I was here.
And how old were you then?
22 when I got engaged. And by the time I came here, it was 23.
So you did a degree, educated.
Oh, yeah. I was convent educated, could speak English, but I come from a very educated background. My mum and dad, like my dad is a retired university professor.
Wow.
My mum back in the day was a national hockey player.
Oh, wow.
Graduated from Rajasthan University. So very unheard back in the time. So I came from a very progressive family.
Yes.
And but funny enough, as the society dictates, my parents were quite conservative when it came to the girl and the path she had to lead.
So how was the, as I call it in Indian, rishta, how was the proposal made to you in India that there's someone in the UK?
It was just through family, friends.
Okay.
And my mum had a big thing because I was quite educated, so she wanted an educated guy for me. So yes, so he was a university graduate working for a big company, like, you know, earning decent money. So it was a really good catch. The family back had quite strong ties in India. So, you know, you ask around people what the family like.
Yeah.
So it ticked all the boxes.
Yes.
It ticked all the boxes.
The perfect match.
The perfect match made in heaven. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you came over to the UK. So tell us a little story about how it all started.
It was, yeah. I still remember, like, when I have to tell you this. So it was first time getting on the plane, first time coming to UK, and what I decided to do, I perm my hair.
And they were fashionable then.
They were fashionable then. And when I landed and my partner at that time saw me, kind of stepped away, like, who is she? I don't recognize her. So that was a really nice welcome.
Right. Because he obviously saw... So hold on, you hadn't met yet?
No, we hadn't met. We were married, but I had a very different look. But the perm changed.
You had the perm before you got on the flight.
We laughed about it for ages because he just didn't recognize me who I was. So I came here. It was a nice family setup, but very, very different from where I came from. So it took time.
Okay.
Language wasn't an issue. So kind of tried to gel in, like, you know, just the normal, the uncles and aunties, and you go and okay. And I think I've been always very headstrong. Back home, I never cooked. I never cleaned. I never wore Indian suits. So it was very, it was like, oh, she speaks English. She doesn't know how to cook. So it was like, you know, being judged and stuff like that.
Of course.
But me being me, I just got on with it. So I looked for a job, and one thing was certain in my head, like, because, you know, life is planned for you. So I had my own plan. So I'm only having a kid when I have my own house. I'm only going to do certain things. So my job was typical. I want to work in a bank.
Okay.
So I applied for HSBC. I got a job there, applied for Halifax. So I liked the manager at Halifax. So I joined as a cashier in Chingford. I still remember, a lovely team. And within 6 months, I got pregnant with my first one because it ticked the box. I had a job in the bank, and in the background, bought the first house.
Oh, wow. Well done.
So bought the first house. So this is within the 2 years me being here.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like getting on with it. But one thing was very, it wasn't clicking.
Okay.
But it wasn't clicking from day one. It's not that, you know, sometimes it's very easy to blame. It was his fault or my fault or la-di-la. Sometimes people don't click. We're just different people. And that doesn't make me wrong. It doesn't make the other person wrong.
Absolutely.
We just don't click.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we were, you know, conditioned by the society that once you're married, you're married. If you had a kid, oh my God, lo behold, how dare you think about yourself.
Especially in that day and age to get divorced.
So this is like, my eldest is 20 now. So 20
Right.
years ago, we're going about 21 years ago. And I just, I do remember like 3 months being here, I rang my mum. I'm like, I want to come back. This ain't not going to work. And my mum being typical, like, just have a kid, everything will be fine.
Oh, wow. The solution, have a baby.
Isn't it? That's it. But yeah, so it was a very interesting journey. And, you know, when you say, like, looking back at it, if I have to tell, like, I've got a daughter. So if I have to tell her something, I'll be like, always listen to your instincts. Always listen to your gut. Like, if something is off, it's off. Nothing... You can put as many patches you want to put on it.
Yeah.
I convinced myself, like, I had it all. We went on holidays. We had a lovely home. Like, I had designer shoes, bags. Like, he spoiled me. Like, you know, in his own way, he showed his love. But as I said, like, there's no right or wrong. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, that's it. My life was this and that. It was decent, but deep down I wasn't happy. And me not being happy was a reason enough. And then things did spiral as, you know, because the frustrations build up. And, you know, when body keeps count, you know, you can lie to yourself, you can lie to the world, but your body keeps count, how you're feeling, how the environment is making you. And if you keep putting yourself last, eventually. And I still remember in 2012, I went into the office. So this is the time I was managing 5 branches, I had a company car, as a wealth manager with Halifax. I went in and I resigned. I typed up a letter to my manager. I didn't speak to anyone because I knew if I started speaking, people would be like, you've done.
They'll talk you out of it.
They'll talk me out of it.
Yeah.
But deep down, I knew I was breaking. So I just went in there and I resigned. And I said to my manager at that time, I'm like, just make me cashier. I don't want to sit at home. I want to do something. And he was like, you want to go from level 7 to 1? I'm like, I don't care. My sanity is more important at this time. And so I became a cashier again, and best thing I did because it gave me a chance to just start honouring myself. So where are we? 2015. So it's been 13 years, and in 13 years, I would say I'm living my dream now. Like, you know, I'm living my dream, and I'm so glad to that myself. I think I was 30. Yeah. In my mid-30s, like, I did what I did, and so I worked on myself, got into spirituality, learned Reiki, retrained as a teacher because I was like, I'm not going to stay in this country, so what profession can I get into which will give me ticket to anywhere in the world? So I'm a qualified teacher as well. Yeah. So my degree back home was in arts. So I became an art teacher in an autistic school, which was a very humbling, very, like, you know, when it grounds you to the core, like you are thankful for everything you have. So from there on, I kind of stumbled into mortgages again because of the financial constraint and everything I had to pay my mortgage because I bought another. So after the divorce, I bought my own place. And so mortgages came about and I started as a broker again. So 3 years I did that. And I get bored very easily.
You need the next project.
I need the next project.
I hear you.
Yeah,
I'm the same.
Yeah, I get bored very easily. My mind needs to be, so I read a lot, I travel a lot, and it needs to, if it doesn't educate, I can't sit in front of the TV and watch Netflix and things like that. Nothing wrong with it, but I can't do it. I love my walks and I love learning and I love speaking to people like, you know, who've had experiences and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I went to my manager at that time. I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm bored. And he's like,
so this is as a teacher or as
teacher. So from teaching, because the pay, as you know, the teachers are the most undervalued and underpaid professionals we have in this country. So I feel for them, a lot of respect for them, because what goes in. It was a beautiful job, but because of financially, it wasn't meeting what I needed. So I met the guy where I am, Landmark Private Finance now. So I met him and his background was Barclays doing a similar role, and we kind of get on, and he's like, why don't you come join my team? And I'm like, I'm a wealth manager. I don't have mortgage qualifications. And he's like, I'm sure you can do that. So I joined him. As soon as I became self-employed, Jan 2020, 3 months later, COVID happens. So he was like, okay, you test me again. But it was all right. I just stuck it through. I did my qualifications, became a mortgage broker, started networking a lot. I found and I set up my own networking group as well where I was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I did that for a year. So I love to talk. As I said, I love to meet people. So I was just putting myself out there. So the business took off. I was self-employed there. But then a year and a bit ago, I wondered if I'm like bored. I don't want to do this. But he's like, I don't want to lose you. So why don't we grow the team? So at that point, it was just me and him.
Yeah.
So I came on board and now there's 6 brokers. So I'm taking graduates in and I'm training them to be mortgage brokers. I love it.
Wow.
I love it. So it's new challenge.
So you get to train them now and
so
mold
train them, mold
them.
like compliantly. I'm literally running the whole show and learning. We do lots of events as a company. So it's a good space.
Just going back to, you said you got divorced. So traditional family in
very
India.
Traditional.
So when you told them, I'm going to get divorced.
My mum was like, somebody's done black magic on you. You've got the nazar.
Of course. It's
you've
got
it all. You've got your 2x2 family. You've got your kids. You've got your holidays. You've got your house. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, you know, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm not happy. And it's so funny in our culture. If we say you're not happy, that's not important.
No.
You've got money.
No.
You've got everything. Like, you know,
He's not beating you.
Yeah. He's not beating you.
Yeah.
He's not like, you
He's
know,
not
he's not having
alcoholic.
affairs. He's not alcoholic. He's a decent guy. And he's a lovely guy. Like, don't get me wrong. He's a lovely guy.
Yeah.
And, but I was like, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. And then I think the breaking point was because, you know, sometimes when you don't get on, you just end up like, it's called like a silent divorce. I've come across that term now where, yes, you're living together, you're doing, you know, like roommates, but you've slowly drifted apart.
Yeah.
But my kids were growing up at that time. And I'm a very passionate person. And I'm like, I don't want my kids to think this is normal, that this is a relationship.
Yeah.
And so that was a very important factor, apart from me not being happy anyways. And I'm like, and I'm not going to get them to have that pressure on their head. Oh no, like, you know, this is what we do once we're married. Blah, blah. I just wanted to change the narration. You know, like that ancestral dumping, which has been going on after, like, if you go back to my mom's mom, the story's same.
Yeah.
It just, you know, the times are different, the qualifications are different, but the mindset, like my mom is so qualified and everything, like she's such a visionary woman. But when it came to her own daughter and the divorce, she kind of disowned me. And I disowned her. And I'm like, if you can't accept that your child is not happy, she was like, think about your kids. And I'm like, I'm your child. Are you thinking about me? You want me to think about my kids, but are you thinking about me? Like, if I die tomorrow because I'm so unhappy, I'm ready to cut my wrist, are you going to look after my kids? So they were very truthful, painful conversations. To cut the long story short, she's done a whole cycle, and now she visited me 2 years ago and she's like, I'm so proud of you. I supported you. You should write a book on yourself. And I'm like, all right, I will. but that's what I'm saying. It's all about empowerment, isn't it? Because deep down, it's just like we can't think for ourselves because we're looking, okay, what are we supposed to do next? What are we supposed to do next? It's not
What does society tell us to do
what does
next?
society tell us to do? And I'm a bit of a black sheep. I don't care. If it doesn't make sense to me, if it's not making me happy, don't want to know.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I've become like this overnight. I was a people pleaser. Trust me, I was a people pleaser. Oh, people were like, oh, such a good girl. Very good girl.
Aman's so good.
Aman's so good. She'll do anything. And people were shocked when I did that, when I decided that I'm going to get divorced. And like, you've got it all.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm not happy.
Well done.
Yeah.
So while going through the process of the divorce, mental health, your identity, your purpose, how did you deal with all of that? How did you keep yourself sane?
I worked on myself. So as I said, like I went down the spirituality path, had healings, I had counseling. And what helped me a lot was listening to podcasts. Listening to I'll tell you, I'm forgetting, it's an Indian organization, Sister Shivani. I don't know if you've, I'm forgetting the name now. They're based in Mount Abu, Sister Shivani. So
the
Brahma Kumaris.
That's it.
Yes. The Brahma Kumaris. So I would say Sister Shivani stepped into my life very early on. I think she was when you start listening and I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not going crazy.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
She's brilliant. So I think it was her. And then I did a lot of work on myself. I reached out to people and I wanted to make sense of it. I just didn't want to. And there was a lot of, don't forget, I had a huge guilt. My kids were quite young at that time. I think my eldest was 10 and my youngest was 6. And, them looking at you and when we are having our arguments at home, it broke my heart. It broke my heart. But it had to happen to get to where they are today. And they turn around today and say, the best thing you did. We've got 2 happy households when they go stay with him. He's a lovely dad, he his whole life revolves around the kids, which I can't thank him enough for. So whatever happened is water under the bridge. I've got a lot of respect for the guy, for what he does for our kids. And so
life goes on.
Life goes on, yeah.
So how did you transform the pain of divorce, the stigma, the financial hardship into a powerful story of reinvention? And how do you now empower others?
So for me, I've got a lot of pride. I hate asking for favors. I hate asking for I did it for you. So hence I've studied a lot. I'm an NLP practitioner as well. So so I basically, the whole reason of getting into mortgages was to financially empower me. And that has empowered me, and I've grown in leaps and bounds. And with divorce, what it has done is it's grounded me. It's grounded me to the fact I still have, I've got so much to be thankful for. And how the divorce has helped is helped me to find that inner strength. It's helped me to find that inner voice that I matter. That Aman matters. So a part of me goes back, as a child, when certain things were said to you, and you internalize it, don't you? You internalize it, and even being married and all the uncles and aunties, the chatter, you internalize it, and then you think, oh, I'm a bad person, I'm doing this, and then I found that power to shut that off and say no. How
did you do that? Because there's lots of women who are probably listening.
Yeah.
And they need to shut it off. How did you do it?
You need to be honest with yourself. You just need to be honest with yourself. And you need to answer that difficult question. Are you happy? I know happiness is a very,
it's not a designer handbag and it's not a flash car.
It's not a card. But at the end of the day, are you happy? Simple question. Are you happy? Every morning when you wake up, do you want to get out of the bed? Every time you want to do anything, do you have to think twice? Because XYZ might say that. Are you your own person? So, people think, oh, let me get therapy, or let me speak to a psychic, or let me go to the mandir or gurdwara, do the prayers, everything you find. No, it's from within. Everything is inside out, not outside in. So when you realize that and come and you start working on yourself in what do you want? It's a very simple question. What do you want? People will be like, oh, I don't know. Then find it. Find your why. Why do you want to do it? You're not doing it because your friend said, oh, he's a horrible man. Because you get all sorts of advices when you're going through a process. You get all sorts of advices. And, the funny thing is, when I was a financial advisor, people used to say, oh, my uncle said I need to put this money in this stock. And I'm like, is your uncle a financial advisor? No, but he did that 10 years ago and he made loads of money. And I'm like, if your car breaks down today, are you going to go and ask your uncle to fix your car? Are you going to go to the professional? So that's what I say. Anything you think is not right with you, seek out to the professionals. Please don't speak to your uncles, aunties, parents, because they come from their very limited visions, and your friends.
Yeah.
We love our friends, but friends are so protective of us that sometimes it clouds their judgment as well, because I could have done a few things wrong. But my friend is not going to turn her on because she's got loyalty with me, not with the other person. So I would say it's a very lonely journey. For a bit, I just kind of cut out with, like, I didn't want to speak to anyone because I was so, you could say it was like kind of an awakening. I'm not saying I'm an awakened person or I'm some spiritual leader. I'm not saying that. But it was just something inside me spoke to me that I've got a bigger purpose here. So hence, going forward, like I do help ladies going through divorce, and they reach out to me, like, I share my journey. It's a very unfiltered journey, and I give them some reality checks. Like, the divorce is not fancy. It's not fancy. It's not easy.
It's easier to stay.
It's easier to stay, but then it's like, how do you, if you decide to stay, can you live with yourself? Simple. And if you don't want to stay, what work have you done within yourself that you think you've empowered, that you can look after yourself? And if there's kids involved, you can look after them as well, because they are the collateral of divorce. So, yeah.
So true. So I'm divorced, and I remember one of my daughter's friends saying, I'm the product of a divorce. And sometimes we forget that the children going through their parents getting divorced, that it's going to impact them as well
100%,
in the future.
100%. I've had a few bits said to me by my kids when I was going through divorce, because kids were young, and there are people in their years trying to tell them, like, what mum is doing is so selfish. Mum is not looking after you. Mum is just being selfish, and she's got her own agenda and blah blah blah. But you need to be strong enough when your own child, for whom you're doing everything, comes and questions you.
That's the hardest to answer to them.
I think the hardest bit is the kids. Rest, the hardest thing for me was came out of the marital home, and my kids chose to stay with him. And I can't tell you, for 6 months, I was like, why did I do that? I've lost my kids. And I was, but it's fine. It had to happen the way they needed to see some stuff. I needed to go through my journey. See, everything is a journey. When we disassociate with ourselves from the outcome, whatever's happening in our life, or whoever's treating you the way you're treating, whatever's happening, it's a journey. You're learning from it. So, and the people are showing their true colours.
Every experience is a lesson. You just have to learn it.
Reason, season, whatever you call it, it's a lesson. So when you detach yourself, and I think that was the part where, because he was my own kids, like my flesh and blood, and I'm like, I felt betrayed. I'm like, I did so much for these kids, thankless kids. They were kids. They were like 12 and 8. What did they know?
They just wanted mummy and daddy together.
That's it, innit? Which is fine.
What everyone says is normal.
So it happened, and the best thing, my son's in uni, second year, and we've got a great relationship. My daughter's giving her GCSEs. We've got great relationships. I took her to She Awards. I got highly commendable businesswomen recognition 2 weeks ago.
Brilliant.
For me, just being nominated was a huge thing. But then I was a winner because I got to take my daughter there and see her mum's name come on the screen. So I think I was more proud of that than anything else.
Did you show your mum as well?
Yeah, of course.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I rang her this morning. I'm like, I'm getting interviewed. She's like, oh, very good. She sent me photos.
Oh, that's so brilliant.
So she's proud of it. But for me to get there, it's been a journey, and I'm still in the journey.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect or anything, but yeah, it's okay.
So you now do intuitive art.
Intuitive painting.
Okay.
Yes, intuitive painting, art coach. So this came about. Now you're going to laugh at this.
So you're a mortgage broker.
I'm a mortgage broker by the day.
Part of a company.
Part of a company. Very happy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not looking to leave or anything. I love it because it's the best thing when people get the house keys and they send you like, you know, so many wishes. And I love it. Absolutely love it. I love training people. I love the networking side of it. I love that. But there's a part of me where I've been through what I've been through and the journey I've had, the healing attunements I've had, the coaching, the NLP, everything. So I've done a level 1 counselling as well. So I've done that. And then it's only by chance somebody reached out to me who's a divorce coach, and she said, do you mind coming on like a webinar for my ladies? So I did that and I quite enjoyed it, and it was very like, you know, and every case is unique, like, you know, everybody is going through their own personal unique journey, and it was so nice that there's light at the end of because I've come through the other side, and these ladies are where I was.
Yes.
And I was like, trust me, it'll be so worth it. And that kind of gave me an idea. Then I started doing one-to-one coaching with them and things like, I still do it. So people reach out. I don't advertise. There's no page. There's nothing. It's just word of mouth and whoever reaches out.
For women who are going through a divorce?
Yeah, for women who are going through divorce. And so that gave me an idea. So I do that as well. And intuitive art. So my dad is a very renowned artist in India. Like, he was given national award back in 1993 for his contribution to art.
Wow.
And he's retired as an arts professor from Punjabi University as well. So I think it's always been in my blood. It's always been in my blood. And so one day it was just, I'm like, I want to do something. So I spoke to another really good friend of mine, Marcella. She's a healer herself, beautiful soul. And I'm like, Marcella, I want to do something. She's like, should we maybe like get some paints together? And so I did, like, for my close friends, I'm like, come, I just want to try something. So that's how the intuitive painting was born. Okay. So I've done quite a few sessions, but now this intuitive painting, which is it was just like a workshop. I want to use that as a coaching in sense of what I've seen is what people paint is they're so unknowingly connect with their subconscious, unconscious mind. And by God's grace, I'm able to see past what they've painted and what needs to come up on the surface for them to heal. Wow. So it's been like, you know, it's been a journey of my own myself. Like, it wasn't planned. It's just come very naturally, organically, which started as a little workshop. So watch the space. So I'm working on some stuff, and I don't want to use coaching. Like, you know, coaching is everybody wants to be a coach these days. It's more like, you know, I just want you to connect with yourself. So through art. Just tune in. I would say just tune in. Help me I'll help you to tune in through art. So that's it. So that's what I want to do.
So who is this aimed for? So is it for the divorced women, or is it for anybody?
Anyone.
Okay.
Like, you know, if you want to work with your partner, like you want to see what issues you guys are having. And I've tried it with a friend of mine, a couple. They're a beautiful couple, but they were having some issues, and it helped. Okay. And it helped. And then I'm working with somebody who is quite young, but has got a lot of physical challenges. Okay. So, like, you know, he's on a lot of medication and stuff. So I'm trying it. So it's amazing every time when you do a session what comes on the back of it. So it could be with your kids, like if you want to strengthen and, you know, just connecting, bond. Yeah. It could be for teams, work, colleagues. It could be for anybody because it's so powerful.
Even like an event at work.
Event at work, yeah. So it's just so powerful. So yeah. So
does that have a social media page or?
I've got a little intuitive painting page, but I need to start. I'm working on the website at the moment. So yeah. So you can follow me on intuitive painting, please.
So you're a broker?
I'm a broker by the day. I'm a professional woman by the day. I will give you very good, solid financial advice. So reach out to me if you want some financial advice in any areas. And it's
Are you a financial advisor or a mortgage broker?
Mortgage. I've qualified for both, but but at the moment I do mortgage.
So let me ask you a question. So if you're a financial advisor as well, women going through a divorce, obviously their whole life is being turned upside down, and a lot of them don't know their finances.
You'd be surprised. I've had a principal of the school for 20 years, didn't have a clue where the mortgage was, where her salary was being paid and everything. And I'm like, this is...
Is that because her husband did it all?
Yes.
Right.
And again, because it was because dad did it first and then the husband stepped in.
Yeah. That's a story many women have. I mean, when I got divorced, I looked up my pension and I've got a financial advisor, and he was like, well, Vina, you don't have dependent children. Your pension's doing X, Y, Z. And you do know that you need to do this to it, you need to do that to it, because when you die, you don't actually have any dependents and you're not getting married again. So what's going to happen to your pension?
Yeah.
I was shocked at what was
People
going to
don't
happen. Luckily, it's all sorted out, and
Good. Yeah.
the pension's doing well. But yeah, it's so important for people. It's like an MOT on your life and a bit of life admin, and people
Financial
don't do
planning.
it.
And it's even like, for kids as well. Like in the schooling system, they leave. Like I did a mortgage for somebody recently. Brilliant graduates, but they had gone ahead and used their student credit card and overdraft, missed payments. Even before they've come into the real world, they've messed their credit score. And they were like, we didn't realise that. It was only like £10 here, £15, but they don't know the impact it has on your credit score.
On the rest of their life.
The rest of their lives. I managed 2 years I worked with them. So this is another me. Like if you come to me, I'll make sure that you get that house.
Yeah.
So for 2 years, I've worked with the boys and the mum. Mum was too old to come on the mortgage, so I had to literally do something. So I got their statements right, their files right. And they've last Christmas, they moved into their first property and they couldn't thank me enough. But that's the joy it gives me.
Yeah.
But then this is what I'm looking to do. The knowledge I have, if I can use it and it makes your life better, why not?
And you're so right, going back to the schooling system, that they're not taught what credit scoring is and, what could happen if you default on your payments and end up with a CCJ and what the impact of that is.
Part of intuitive, like, when you come to me, like, say, for example, you're doing a session with you, I'm not saying you, but like somebody's coming with young kids, I will touch on it. I want to do that. It's a part of financial well-being and emotional well-being. It all goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
It all goes hand in hand. Money doesn't buy you happiness, but it buys you options. So you rather have the options.
Yeah, I love that.
So that's the whole process behind this intuitive. I'm not leaving my job or anything. Don't get me wrong.
So in case your employer's listening, you're not leaving.
Just in case he's listening. No, I'm not leaving. But that's my passion, which I want to grow.
Okay.
And it gives me a lot back. Like it just makes me makes me happy.
So moving forward, you're still going to help everybody with their financial planning, their mortgages, and you're now bringing in the
intuitive coaching, art therapy. I need to find a name. Help me. So
if anyone's listening, please send, leave a comment as to how Aman can bring this forward. So Aman, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to really share as a tip or advice, whether it's about your divorce, retraining from a teacher to a mortgage broker? You've done a lot.
I've done a lot. Trust me,
Coming from India. All right, you did say you get bored, so you have to.
I have to keep myself
retrain.
Engaged. Yes.
Being a teacher was great.
Very great.
Didn't pay you enough.
Yes.
Obviously, being a wealth manager, then becoming a cashier.
That was good days.
They were good days. I mean, I've worked for a bank and I loved working in the bank.
That was good days. We got treated like royalties, so that was really good, yeah.
Yeah. So now you're doing, what's been the best part of the journey?
I would say, I'd say this to my kids as well. This is where I am today. I'm the happiest. I am so happy. And if you say, have I got any regrets? No. It all had to pan out to make me the person I am today. So I thank everybody who disappointed me, everybody who said I couldn't do it, or everybody who shamed me, made me feel guilty or made me wrong. Thank you. One advice I'll give to anybody who's going through divorce or any kind of change or anything, don't look back. There's nothing new there. So just look ahead. Just look ahead. And just, people talk about visualization, manifestation. It works. I'm the example.
Living proof.
I'm the living proof. It works. But you know where it comes from? When unapologetically you love yourself. You find that love you have for your kids or for your boyfriend, girlfriends, your partners. The day you find that love for yourself, honor yourself, respect yourself, and just demand that, that's when the magic happens.
I love it. I mean, even from talking to you on the phone before you came on, I just knew there was just something about you. There's even sitting opposite you, there's just an energy about you, and
thank you.
I can tell you've been on some journey.
I've only started.
Oh, so, keep watching this space.
Keep watching this. I'm not saying I'm going to do something, but I'm just enjoying life, and and whoever. I'm so. I just want to help. I just want to see, everything I've been through. If I can make your life easy, whether it be in divorce, in finance, in mortgages, or just helping you to find the connection back with your partners, with your kids, team building, anything, I'm your person. Talk to me.
Love that. So we will put all your handles below. So the website that's coming.
Yes.
And for where you work and how to get hold of you. And all the advice you can give as well.
Yeah.
Come
and say hello.
Absolutely. Thank you, Aman.
Thank you, Rina. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Founder in the Chair. Please don't forget to follow, like, share and subscribe from wherever you are watching or listening. Thank you.